Hey guys, I hope you're having a safe and productive new year so far. And I was kind of hoping that this wouldn't be sort of the video I'd kick off 2018 with, but I feel in light of recent social media events and happenings that have been going on well into the beginning of this new year, especially pertaining to YouTube itself, I kind of need to just get a couple of things off my chest here. And also maybe tie it in a little bit to how I want to be able to proceed forward into the new year and how I feel YouTube should be able to proceed forward into the new year. Right out of the gate, I'm going to touch upon very briefly the Logan Paul situation with regards to his New Year's Eve, New Year's Day video regarding his trip to Japan and the suicide forest and finding a body in the suicide forest and everything that came with that particular fiasco. I know people are re-uploading this video all over the place and that you shouldn't really be viewing it probably for any kind of context that Logan Paul and his team were kind of mentioning that they want to promote awareness of suicide and depression. This is not the way to do it. If you wish to gain a little bit more insight with regards to suicidal ideation, mental health issues of any kind, please do some more than just looking at this bit of sensationalist trite. Do your own research. I'll put a couple of resources down below in the links, along with the hotline, of course, the prevention hotline that you can reach out to at any time if you are experiencing some kind of depression or experiencing very troubling thoughts or thoughts that are veering towards suicidal ideation. Please seek out the appropriate and the right help. And don't let this momentary exploitation of a very serious condition deter you from getting the proper treatment or the proper resources you need. So yeah, my initial thoughts upon hearing about this whole story is that that was a pretty crappy thing to do. Now, I've never actually really been a big fan of Logan Paul or Jake Paul, not necessarily because I go out of my way to outright hate them or anything, but clearly I'm not their demographic. I was aware of who Logan Paul was back when I had a Vine account and I'd see maybe his videos pop up in the popular, tags or something like that. But that was about as much of my exposure and knowledge to Logan Paul was at the time. And then when he got onto YouTube and started to do more video logging and his brother came over and I unfortunately had to become knowledgeable about its everyday bro, I just kind of shrugged my shoulders and said, okay, I don't get what the appeal is about these two, but they have a big fan base of young, impressionable minds. Oh my God. And that's not to say they're outright evil, duplicitous people or anything of that matter. Is what Logan Paul did very tasteless and lacking a lot of tact? Hell yeah. Is the way his team handled both the distribution of the video, the rescinding of the video, and the apologies the best way they could have done it? Probably not. Does he have regret about what transpired? Most likely. But who's to say what the reasons are? Whether he genuinely feels bad for exploiting someone's death in such a way, or if it's more along the lines of he doesn't like the bad focus of attention on him right now. Is this the end of his YouTube career? It's hard to say, but I'm veering more towards probably not, just because he has such a devout and widespread fan base that they're going to follow him into hell, essentially. And that actually brings me to my main point of this video. It's not so much to focus on Logan Paul and whether or not he's a good person or anything like that. People are people. But more about how the system, YouTube, has kind of bred a sort of environment that propagates and supports more predatory or sensationalistic type of material. Because Logan Paul, frankly, is just a symptom of what's going on this platform. Ranging from him and his brother to the prank channels that promote a lot of very extreme and violent types of pranking, to the toy channels that clearly have very dark and very questionable motives for being online, to all of the channels surrounding YouTube drama that kind of go out of their way to very much exploit and drain that resource dry when it comes to shit-talking each other or putting each other down or finding very incriminating stuff about each other, to the ungodly amounts of reaction videos that don't even veer close to being in fair use. All of this is very symptomatic of the bigger issue at hand, which is YouTube not being able to police itself properly. Now, I can't really say what's going on behind the scenes at all, whether or not it's simply that they are feigning ignorance purposefully because they know that all this sensationalistic and almost tabloid type of video making is what's drawing in the huge bucks and the huge views, or if they are genuinely this aloof about how their platform is being utilized. And to further complicate matters, this past year was horrendous when it came to them being able to regulate certain things, such as monetization, such as copyright infringements, such as abuse of the community guidelines. More often than not, YouTube found themselves falling flat on their faces in response to all these flagrant violations taking place all over the website. From little-known channels that weren't doing any harm getting wrongfully terminated, to other channels facing massive demonetization in face of the apocalypse. It also really doesn't help matters that it seems that any support you get from YouTube is rarely, if ever, an actual human being who can actually fairly assess your content or be able to determine the proper outcome for questionable materials. The fact that still a majority of the website's content is being left into the hands of an AI that clearly is still working out its own kinks as time goes on, that doesn't instill me with a whole lot of confidence in the higher-ups. And meanwhile, they tried to promote this still very safe branding image with YouTube Rewinds, with people and bringing in big non-YouTube personalities such as Stephen Colbert, who, don't get me wrong, I love Stephen Colbert. I can watch his videos on YouTube. But again, it's the commercialization and the sanitization of a platform that shouldn't be about that necessarily. Now, granted, there are limits to what we should be able to show here on the site. Going hand in hand almost with the free speech issues that are kind of cropping up in the past couple of years, you should be able to comfortably express yourself and stay true to your beliefs and what you view in this world without feeling as though you're being constrained or being oppressed in that freedom of speech. But also to recognize that there is a limit to that speech as well, that you can't just outright say the figurative version of fire on YouTube. Have and discuss unpopular opinions, sure. But when it gets to the point that the number 10 trending video on the site is a video of someone cracking jokes because they're nervous around a recent suicide victim, what? Tell me, what is the benefit of that? Where is the discussion in that? Other than the tons of response videos that are discussing the issue for that channel and for this website. What is the benefit of having that particular video there? No, we have to recognize that the community guidelines are there for a reason and that they are pretty sensible if vaguely described community guidelines. But YouTube has to meet us halfway here. I guess what I'm trying to say is YouTube needs a little bit more of the human touch as opposed to just leaving it up to the faceless algorithms and AI out there that are policing for them. And what I feel is more important in order for this channel to survive well beyond the next couple of years is for it to stop deflecting and remaining silent when one of its golden geese channels does something abhorrent or extremely boneheaded. A simple blanket apology and saying that you support mental health and suicide prevention services isn't enough. YouTube, you need to call out people on their crap more often. Except do it correctly and actually call out the people causing crap on this site. Yes, even if the channel causing crap is a 15 million plus subscriber count. Everyone should get treated equally. No sidestepping when it's one of the people you happen to be working on a YouTube Red movie with. Because let me tell you, as one of this website's equivalent to a street urchin, we are not enjoying this. All of us smaller channels and creators, we are just waiting with bated breath for one of two things to happen. One, you to get your act together and actually start treating us all equally and fairly. Or two, the next big video platform that is able to distribute your content for free, because we are going to flock to that like nobody's business. And if all of your gold standard creators keep causing so much malarkey, then what are you going to be left with in the long run? I mentioned this in one of my videos that discussed fair use a while back, but the slogan for this website used to be broadcast yourself. I am still hoping beyond hope that's possible. because I love being able to broadcast myself when it comes to topics and interests that I find fascinating, that I want to share with you, the viewer. And regardless of how much of a small fry I am, I'm going to keep doing that. That is my 2018 resolution to you, is I will keep providing that for as long as I can. Demonetization or copyright strikes or whatever happens, be damned. But I tell you, it is hard to be able to get my act together at times. That's why a lot of content has kind of slowed to a crawl. For a couple of reasons. One, I actually have work outside of this channel, so that takes precedence over everything else. Two, it is a little disheartening to constantly be facing demonetization and to constantly be hearing stories from friends and colleagues on this site about their trials and tribulations regarding YouTube and its services. And three, can you imagine how defeated a lot of us smaller channels feel when all the bigger YouTubers out there get away with so much crap, get away with so much controversy, and they end up drawing negative attention to this platform we all love. And the platform does nothing to put them in their place, does nothing to kind of defend itself, essentially, does nothing in order to kind of make sure that some kind of balance and fairness is being distributed amongst the creators. I won't lie, that has kind of killed off a lot of productivity for me towards the end of 2017, was a lot of this preferential treatment. Why should I bother trying so hard when it doesn't matter, when people are just farting away on their own channels and they're bringing in tons of views, tons of subscribers, tons of money? Why should I try so hard when the website itself isn't going to go out of its way to try and defend or justify the existence of us smaller creators? The people who were the foundation of what you started with regards to this company. But again, that's just me momentarily griping. I've kind of got this renewed sense of vigor coming into the new year, and I'm going to keep at it. I'm going to try my darndest to keep providing the best content I can for those of you out there who do watch me and who do enjoy what I have to offer. I'm going to try to change it up. I'm going to try to bring a little bit more energy or some new ideas into the mix when it comes to video logs or reviews, or a little bit more of the remake revolution perhaps. This coming weekend, I'm going to be releasing my top 10 favorite movies of 2017 and my top 10 worst movies of 2017. I've been having a little bit of an issue organizing the order for both lists, so just bear with me, that should be coming shortly. But I just want to be able to get this video log out there and kind of talk about the state of the website, as it were, in the first couple of days of 2018. We've already had kind of a big up and down roller coaster ride with regards to the antics of one channel on here and the site's lackluster response to these actions. But now that that's all said and done and out of the way, again, I'm going to try my best, and you keep trying your best to not just support your favorite channels or creators, but also to support yourself. Like I mentioned before, if you are dealing with some serious issues and you feel you need a little support or a little help, don't hesitate. Don't feel embarrassed about reaching out to somebody. Again, I'll post some links below. Thank you so much for your time. Have a happy rest of the new year, and I'll be back with some more fun, less serious stuff in the days to come.